I don't remember any of it.
You don't remember?
For you, the day bison graced your village was the most important day of your life. But for me, it was Tuesday.
Welcome to the Rated G for Gamers podcast, episode 123. 123. Sounds so nice. Just a quick note before we start that you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google+, YouTube, and Vero at Rated G for Gamers. And you can always email us at info@ratedgforgamers.com. We appreciate all the love. I'm your host, Dave Rotino. This is my co-host, Dan, I'm Not Afraid of Dinosaurs, Robinson.
Raw! No, I can't even do
wow,
it.
Is that your best T-Rex impression?
That's my best T-Rex impression. I even had the three fingers up too.
I give it an A on the low end on the Dave scale. I'm sorry, it's not complete trash.
At least I didn't hit trash. That's all.
No. You can get a complete trash. You gave it the old college try. I gave you some points.
I gave it the old college. Well, listen, It's not old. College wasn't that long ago. Okay, I gave it.
All right there, Grandpa. All right.
I gave it the semi-old college try.
Well, you've been going to school ever since I've known you. So,
listen, man, I can't help
the fact that you're not in school now is very surprising.
I can't help, man. I gotta get my academics up, man.
That's
okay.
right.
All right.
You gotta get your
Some
studies
of us take school seriously.
All right, look. I got a good job now. All right, let's not talk about me not graduating. Spoilers.
Drop out.
Yeah. I'm a college dropout. That's exactly me and Kanye
have something in common. The one thing you guys have in common.
Yeah. I'm glad that's the only thing we have in common.
Well, anyway, what's going on, man?
God, it has been a crazy week. It has been super hot a lot of these days here. I don't know about you, but I am doing my best to not use my air conditioner. I'll tell you that.
I don't think we're at AC levels yet. I mean, I still have to take the window out and put the AC in. Dude, but it's nice with my fan. My fan is
summer's like half over. I don't know what you're waiting for.
It's been a half a week. Summer's been here for like 5 days, and you complain.
Well,
already.
I mean, technically, but it's been hot.
It hasn't been that hot.
It's been a lot.
We haven't had any scorchers.
We haven't had any high 90s yet. No, definitely not.
Even at the 90s. Come on. Matter of fact, it was like drizzling while the sun was out the other day. So
I know. I was. Oh God. I was having a ton of Bellinis and mimosas and sangria on a Sunday and getting rained on, which was weird. But a fun time nonetheless.
Yeah, you thought you were too drunk.
Yeah, right. What the hell's going on? Why is it raining outside right now?
Anyway, Dave, how was your weekend?
The weekend was good. As I ended up mentioning, I got drunk on Sunday with a bunch of friends at one of my favorite joints. Not breakfast, but brunch. My favorite brunch joints over in Brooklyn on Flatbush Avenue. We did not. We did not go to Barcade.
Come on.
Barcade very far away from where we were. We were not in Williamsburg.
You should plan like a barcade brunch in the city.
Barcade brunch would be nice. Yeah. I like the one in Williamsburg a little better. I'll tell you that.
I don't even know if they serve food.
They don't. They just serve beer. So you'd have to do the brunch.
So liquid brunch.
You could do like a liquid brunch thing. Yeah. Or you could get food elsewhere, get all nice and liquored up, and then go play your favorite 80s video games.
Well, you know what I did? I actually saw Jurassic World 2.
Oh, yeah.
Or Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. It's called. Yep. We're getting away from the numbers.
Yeah. Well, I mean, 2 and 3 were stinkers, so
What?
Jurassic World I thought was good.
Two was awesome. 3 was it was okay. I like 2.
Here. Oh, okay. No.
Yeah, I like 3. 3 was cool.
2 was ridiculous. The first one. The first one is a masterpiece, right?
The first one's phenomenal. The second one was pretty good, and I thought it was pretty good. And the third one was good. I mean, listen, the kid was lost and had to go find the kid. I thought it was good. I liked the third one.
I liked Jurassic World. I liked the new kind of half reboot. You know, they did reference the old movies in a way, and that the king, you know, they had the park, and now they built the park up again, and you know, I thought that was kind of cool. But how was the new one? How was the Fallen Kingdom?
Fallen Kingdom was good. Didn't live up to the first one. The Fallen Kingdom, it was good. It definitely sets up the third one in the second trilogy.
Right.
No spoilers.
Of course, they're going to do more. Yeah.
Just it's definitely not. It's not what is. You're not going to expect what's coming. Like it's not. It's nothing like the first trilogy and Jurassic World, the first one. So. It was definitely some. I gotta be honest. Like the one big plot twist, right? I saw it coming a mile away. I even called it out. I was like, "Yeah, I know that. I know."
They telegraphed it. Nah, that's.
Upsetting. I was like, I knew that. Like all the signs pointed to that. I ain't stupid.
Right.
I know that.
It is an action movie. You know, usually it's going to be pretty broad. You know what's going to happen. You know, so it's usually not that big of a surprise. You know, it sucks that it was so obvious, but.
But the movie was okay. I'm curious to see how they would do the third one, how that would work, because that's going to be kind of different, right? I'm more curious to see if they come out with a video game, Jurassic World 2 or something, because they didn't come out with Jurassic World 1, the video game, I don't think.
Yeah, surprisingly, right? Why would they not do a tie-in for that?
They did do a Jurassic World game, like Park Simulator, right?
Sure, right.
The reviews, I mean, it came out like a couple of weeks ago or whatever. The reviews were like, right? It got like 6s and 7s.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Zoo Tycoon, but with dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Which seems awesome. You know, the concept is great, but as we all know, video game tie-in, movie tie-in games are never good. Never good.
Wolverine Origins was pretty good. Better than the movie, I tell you.
Still gonna go. Wow, that's not a high bar right there.
That game was awesome. That game was pretty damn good. I'm sorry.
You like that game way too much.
I do like that game. I dusted off the 360 just to beat that game.
So there was some fantastic news for all the gamers out there, right? Obviously, everyone who's listening to this podcast either has an NES Classic or wants an NES Classic, right? But nobody necessarily wants to pay the high price for the NES Classic. Good news! The NES Classic is coming back this Friday.
If you can get it. It's coming out June 29th.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's going to sell out right away, but they're going to get new stock in of it, and it's not going to be like last time.
Well, this is the new stock.
There's going to be a second shipment coming and whatever. Like, that sure, people are going to want it.
We hope that there's going to be a second shipment.
I don't think it's going to be as bad. I've already seen a ton of people marking down their SNESs and NES Classics in anticipation of this new one, right? Because they've been sitting on it for so long, a lot of people got burned, right? So now
you think we should have waited? We should have waited. We should have waited.
Yeah, I mean, I only paid I paid 40 over. I paid double. I paid twice as much for it. So I'll say that. I think you paid around 100, maybe a little less.
Yeah, I think I paid like 105, something like that.
Right.
I paid for shipping.
Right. Which, you know, I mean, if you want something and it's like, you know, it kind of means something to you, and it is really cool. You know, I'm definitely not upset that I paid what I paid for it, and I'm pretty sure you're not upset what you paid for it, because, you know, we thought, okay, this is it. They're not going to make any more.
I'll be upset when I see this in the stores.
Well,
you
can't really look at it that way. You can't really look at it that way.
I'm going to be very upset if I see this in the store, and I'm like, I can buy it? I'm going to be pissed. Okay? I'm just going to call it right now. I'll be pissed.
All right.
But anyway, NES Classic is coming back on June 29th.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's coming out next month? Let's get into games coming out next month.
Let me know. Let me know what's coming.
All right. Usually, when I do this list, I do games that mostly I think I'm going to buy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. next month. It's a lot of games I'm definitely gonna buy. However, I've slowed down. I'm like, I know it's shocking. I've slowed down. Right, life has now gotten in the way. I had to go buy some new suits for work. I had to go clothes shopping. So I haven't bought a lot of games.
Mr. Adult.
I know. I'm getting my adult on. God,
Mm-hmm.
oh God! Imagine if we had kids buying video games and Pampers.
Well, as soon as your kids get old enough, then you can start buying games for your kids. So it's kind of a twofold thing. But
I know. But some of these, I will say, some of these games, I'm interested, but not as interested that I may go buy them. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So like you were shocked to know that I didn't buy Mario Tennis for the Switch, and I'm not.
Yeah. Mario Tennis is not your jam.
I like the demo. It was pretty good.
Demo was great, man.
Not something I'm gonna put a lot of hours into.
Well, you really need to. You really need to have other people to play with. Playing against a computer is okay.
But again, I didn't buy the Mario. I still don't have Mario. I still haven't played Mario Rabbids. You love that game.
Yeah, I mean, like Mario Rabbids is. I mean, it's it's a tactics game. It's a turn-based tactics game, which is not really your jam. But
not my jam.
Tennis is fun. Mario Tennis is even more fun. And like Aces just kind of put all this new stuff in there. Like it's so many mechanics to that game. It's great.
So all right, games that are coming out next month. Mm-hmm. So coming out July 3rd.
Mm-hmm. Red
Faction Guerrilla Remastered, PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
Mm-hmm.
I think this was one of the games like a few years ago that I was playing. I was just like, this game is boring.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It was like, I'm just destroying things and there's no rhyme or reason. Like I didn't like the game. Maybe Red Faction is not my series. It's definitely not Uncharted to me. Definitely not Gears to me.
It's okay.
Not a big Red Faction fan.
Right. The whole appeal of Red Faction, even from the beginning one, was like, if you see a wall, you can blow it up and make a path through it, right? If you had the proper explosives for it, which was cool. It's a really neat idea because it's very hard to make like explosive terrain, right? Because you kind of need something to stand on, right? If a level is based around like got to get from level 1 to level 10, you can't just go like blowing up all the floors because then there goes the exit. But Red Faction made that happen, and they kept upping the ante. I think the last one was you could blow anything up, right? You blow any building up or whatever, this or that. Like that was like really cool. But I'm with you. It's kind of
Sounds Crackdown-ish.
Yeah, a little bit.
I will say this next game on this list, I'm buying both versions.
Right.
Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. I'm buying the Switch version and I'm buying the 3DS version. It's coming out July 13th.
You're buying the 3DS version because there's different content in there? Or you just want it?
I just want it.
You just want it. Okay.
3DS version. I want to have every version. I love this game. I have it on a Wii U.
Mm-hmm.
The Switch version isn't going to have the Super Mario 3D World levels, but it's going to have Mario Odyssey levels. So I definitely want to buy that.
Oh, interesting. They're swapping those out, huh?
They're swapping those out.
Why not just leave those in? It seems kind of weird.
I don't know. Maybe they down the line are coming out with a Super Mario 3D World for the Switch, like a new one, not like a port.
Or they're gonna charge you. They're gonna charge you for DLC levels. That's what I think.
Not a port like Smash Brothers.
Look. If you think Smash is a port, let me introduce you to Street Fighter. All right, Street Fighter 2 to Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition. That's a port. Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition and Street Fighter 2 Turbo. That's a port. Super Street Fighter 2. That's a port. Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. That's a port. All right, get out of here.
Just say it. It's a port.
You're
so
insane.
I'll be getting both versions. Switch and 3DS.
Sure.
A game that I tried.
Mm-hmm.
I did the demo. They have a demo out right now, a second demo.
They do.
It's the demo is long, and I will respect this. If you buy the demo and whatever progress you're making in the demo will carry over into the game. So I give big props to that. Mm-hmm. Still not my jam. Not a big RPG guy. Octopath Traveler for the Switch coming out July 13th, same day.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get it. I actually haven't played the demo, sadly, so I do need to download and play Octopath before I actually jump in and buy it. But it seems like my jam,
Well, they have a new demo out right now,
Mm-hmm.
so try that.
Sure.
A game that I think we're both gonna buy.
Yeah.
Sonic Mania Plus, baby, for Switch, PS4,
Well,
and Xbox.
we get an
Coming out
actual physical disc.
Coming out July
Right?
17th.
You get an actual physical disc now.
Physical disc, and it has like the reversible cover art for like makes it look like a Genesis game.
Yeah, the throwback. You know I'm going to be rocking that.
You know I'm going to rock that too. Whenever I get something with a reversible cover, I always just automatically reverse it.
Right, yeah.
Except for Bayonetta, because Bayonetta, the reversible cover is Bayonetta 1, and I'm not downloading Bayonetta 1, and I'm not buying the Japanese port. So
That's
I'll keep
right. Take that stand.
I am taking that stand, damn it. A game that everyone's been waiting for, including Dave. Waiting. We can now play it July 19th.
I'm on the edge of my seat.
And that's Pool Panic.
Oh, you know I love my virtual pool games. Oh God, yeah. I don't know what it is like.
It's coming out. They simulate Switch and PC.
Okay, like they simulate everything, right? They simulate football. They simulate large scale battles. They simulate falling blocks, creating lines together, aka Tetris. They have everything. They have bull riding, and they have pool. It's just I like playing pool physically. I do not like playing virtual pool.
You don't like that virtual pool? Come on, everybody's been waiting for this virtual pool game.
I can just go to a pool hall. It's not difficult.
Screw Gears, screw Halo, screw Uncharted, okay, screw Mario.
Yeah. You're getting on that.
It's been Pool Panic, baby. PC and Switch.
You're getting on that Pool Panic Championship at Evo next year, right?
I am. I'm even getting super Street Pool Panic. Super
Street Pool Panic EX. Yeah. Oh my God. So I don't know. Switch and PC seem like the appropriate systems for it to be on.
Did you see that Did you see that Kickstarter where they have like you have the Joy-Cons and the thing that comes with the Joy-Cons, the grip, right? So they have like a big grip. They have a big grip to where you can put the Switch vertically. Like
big grip to put the Switch. Oh, so you have the grips on the side and the Switch is upright?
Yeah.
Is that for like shooters and whatnot? Shmups,
yeah. It was like, I mean, a Kickstarter. This guy didn't get a killing.
Interesting.
Nintendo, huh? You're leaving money on the table. Come on.
I could definitely see playing some Ikaruga like that.
Come on. All right. So July 24th, we have the Banner Saga 3. That's PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC.
That's everything.
And then the day that everyone really has been waiting for is July 24th.
Yep.
We got Mega Man X Legacy Collection 1 and 2 coming out for PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. I think I said this. I already have the Mega Man Collection, just regular Mega Man Collection 1 on the 3DS because I have the statue. And I have Mega Man Collection 2 on Xbox. I think I'll be getting the Mega Man X Legacy Collection 1 and 2 on the PS4. If you get the Switch version, you only get the first collection, and the second one is a download, or the other way around. But you don't get both of them on the cart, which is a bummer.
Yeah, that's so annoying. Why could you not? How could you not fit everything on there? It's like 256 gigs, right?
Yeah, it's annoying. It's like, come on, this doesn't make any sense. Get your act together, Capcom.
Yeah.
Coming out the same day, a game that everyone's been clamoring for on Xbox, No Man's Sky.
I don't think anyone's been clamoring for this game.
Come on, you know you're going to get this game and play it with me on Xbox.
No. I barely played the PlayStation one, and I enjoyed that game. If anything, I'll go back and play the PlayStation game where nobody is playing it now. But it doesn't matter because you can't find anybody. So,
I just want to get off the goddamn planet. I just want to get off the planet.
You can do that on the PlayStation. You don't have to spend $60 to get off the planet.
I don't think it's a $60 game though.
Even if it's $40, you could spend $0 and play your PlayStation version.
I want to get off the planet. That's all I want. I want off the fucking planet.
I understand. Yeah. It was a very fun idea, just not very well fleshed out, so. And I guess, this is the move for Hello Games. I think that's the company, right? Because they had all this bad press. It didn't really do very well. Why not bring it to Xbox, which is just as powerful? It shouldn't be that bad to port. Shouldn't be that much money. There's a whole new fan base that's opened up to, so hopefully it sells. I want this company to do well.
And the last game on this list is a game that we previewed at PAX East 2018, and we both liked. We both really like this game. Unfortunately, you got to play more of it than I did.
Your system,
wasn't charging and died on me.
Yeah. Charging Jock was no good. You got to play a little bit. We were talking to the devs, and devs are awesome. Love this team.
And that's Sleep Tight coming out July 26th, digital on the Switch and PC.
Yep, we have a big preview, I guess, up on our website if you want to know more about that game. We got the trailer up there and some thoughts on the game so far. It is amazing. It is a twin stick shooter that is also a tower defense game where you have to protect your living room from the monsters that come out at the night. It's such a great concept. So we are definitely going to be rocking this game for sure.
So Dave, as we always start the show and epically fail. What have you been playing?
Wow, you sounded really defeated while you were saying that. This is supposed to be the epic joyous moment that we can regale our fans with. And we can talk to each other about the great games we've been playing this week.
Okay, Dave, let's rewind.
Okay. Take two. Take it again.
Dave, as we always I can't even do it right.
It's okay. We're gonna go ahead and power through, folks. It's fine.
I can't even do it right.
Sometimes we make mistakes on Rated G, and sometimes we keep them in the show.
No. We're gonna do it right.
Okay,
right.
Go ahead. Third time's the charm. Tee it up. I'm lobbing it over the plate for you.
Dave, as we always try to start the show, but epically fail. What you've been playing?
All right, I'll take it. So yeah, we have both me and Danny spoilers have been playing A Way Out because you need to play
fantastic.
And that game is great. So we're kind of chipping away at it. I think we're probably a little more than halfway done with it. I think it's not that long of a game.
Yeah, but, the game. I think this is the game could be like done in like 8 hours, and we're definitely 4 hours, and we're out of the prison.
We are out of the prison. Yeah, that's right. We got the car. We did the whole car chase thing. That was great. So loving that. Still playing God of War. It's not on the list here, but still playing God of War.
You're still playing God of War?
I am pretty close to done with that game. I know because when you go ahead and look at the skill tree, there's only like one set of skills left, right? So I just have to get the level 5 skill set on the
ever the completionist.
Well, I'm also trying to do the little side thing and beat up the Valkyries and try and get all the stuff. I'm not gonna get all the stuff, but I'm gonna get some of the stuff. So that's kind of fun. And I have some interesting news. I did talk. It seems like many moons ago. Me and the girl broke up and whatnot, and there was all that. We talked about kind of games getting us through and whatnot. We are friendly. We are definitely kind of hanging out in that kind of platonic situation. But I got to introduce her to Fez, which is one of my favorite games, right? I don't know if you ever got a chance to play that.
Not sober.
That indie title. No, not sober.
I haven't played it sober.
Playing it sober is tough enough. Playing it drunk, oh my god.
Go through all these doors and the world just keeps spinning.
Yeah, right. So essentially, the game starts out as like a 2D side-scrolling game, and then you end up getting your like Mighty Fez hat, which gives you the power of 3D. So the game is still in 2D, but you can move the game world on 4 different axes, right? So when you like shift the game world around, so everything is in 3D, but it's displayed as 2D. So everything like shifts into a 2D situation, and like certain platforms move into positions where you can jump on them where they weren't able to be jumped on before. And since you're like moving the world around, you see a different part of that object. So if it's like a house, right, the house will have 4 sides. Maybe one of those sides will have a door. One of those sides will have like a hidden secret. The other 2 sides maybe will have nothing. And you have to kind of manipulate the world and then move in 2D and then manipulate the world. I thought you'd like it, so I brought the 360 dongle over and the controller because that's really the way to play. You don't want to play with the mouse and keyboard because that just like kind of sucks. So I let her borrow some of the equipment. She's having a great time with that, which I'm very happy about. So I always love to spread the joy. When you have a game that you love, you think someone else is going to like it. You're like, here, try this out. And also, I found out that She started playing Diablo 3.
On her own?
Yeah, well, I mean,
wow.
she's got like a friend of hers who, got her into the game and whatnot. So they kind of do some questing and whatnot. And she was talking about the hidden unicorn land. One time we were hanging out. I'm like, you play Diablo 3? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, why didn't you tell me you play Diablo 3? I have an account. We should totally play Diablo 3. So, we're trying to coordinate and make that happen. I have to dust off my account because it's been years. The game's fairly old now in like gaming years. But I think like that's going to be fun because there's a bunch of new content to that game. So, I am kind of hyped. But yeah.
Nice.
So that's everything I've been playing. Dan, I want to know what you've been playing.
I didn't like that intro. I don't like that. I didn't like that. You said it semi-happy. Like, you was like kind of, you weren't really into it. I didn't think you felt that.
God. Oh my God. I gave you like, oh, come on. All right. You want me to go ahead and do it again? I'll bring it back.
I want to do it again. I didn't feel it. I didn't feel it in my soul. I didn't feel it. My gamer soul didn't feel it. I didn't feel it. I didn't understand.
All right. Ready? Okay.
Yeah, I'm ready. All right.
Dan, the podcaster formerly known as Classic Robinson. I want to know what you have been playing.
That was a little bit better. I like that.
Oh my God! All right. Come on, let's go.
So we've been playing a way out. We've been playing a way out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still trekking away at Splatoon 2 Octopath expansion for the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
But again, that's brutal. Okay, it is just hard. It's old school Nintendo hard. So I think next show we're definitely going to go on our half-year game of the year awards.
That's right. It's that time.
I may have to nominate this game.
Ooh,
I'm sorry.
Little sneak peek behind the scenes.
It's not officially nominated, but I'm thinking about nominating Shaq Fu for the Switch.
Oh,
Shaq Fu for the Switch.
Oh God, no!
Come on, yeah, Shaq Fu.
Oh, don't! This is going to be the new order 1886.
Stop it. We already talked about this. Stop it.
It is. It's going to be the new order 1886.
Don't ever doubt my love for the order. Okay.
No. I mean, I played it. It was a solid game. It was good.
All right. So Shaq Fu, I'm chipping away at the Switch version. Mm-hmm. I'm digging the game. I'm really digging the game. It's goofy, silly, ridiculous. I'm digging it. Yeah. I like Shaq. Okay. I posted on our Instagram. What should I play for the weekend? Okami HD or Ori and the Blind Forest? I have them both for Xbox One.
You threw the call out there.
I threw the call out there.
What would people end up saying?
Well, Boom Knight told me she pretty much will kill me if I didn't play Okami HD. So
Okami's great, man. Okami's a great game.
So after she said that, I started Ori and the Blind Forest.
Wow! Pulled a complete 180.
I won against the grind. Listen, I won against the grind. Okay. I'm actually.
He means no harm. He will get to Okami. Trust me.
I am playing both. Actually, I cracked both of them open. I bought them a long time ago. I got them on sale. Mm-hmm. So they both were sealed. So I cracked them both open, installed them, and I've been playing both. And like I say, Ori and the Blind Forest, great platformer. Okami HD, sort of, that Zelda-like clone, Twilight Princess type clone.
Interesting.
I love my platformers.
Yeah, you do.
So I'm really big with Ori and the Blind Forest. A little bit over the Okami, even though I've played a little bit more of Okami. But I see the appeal why people like Okami. So I'm chipping away at both simultaneously. Sure. And I beat the heck out of Captain Toad Treasure Tracker demo on the Switch.
Nice.
Which you should pick up. I that just reinforced that I'm getting the Switch and 3DS version. I'm sorry, I'm getting both versions.
Nice.
So, speaking about games that I'm gonna buy, did you buy any games this week? I'm a little light on games, as I said earlier.
I did. I bought some games. I bought some games that I already had copies of because
you just love buying.
Why would you
doubles.
check your list of games? Yeah. I just love doubles, exactly. So, I have a double of Secret Agent Clank for the PSP. There is no Ratchet in this game. It was a standalone solo game for the PSP. I now own 2 copies, sealed. So, if anybody wants that, hit me up. I will gladly trade or sell that for a decent price. But of games that I don't have, I did get the Brutal Legends Special Edition for the PC because I love that game so much. Even though the kind of combat and gameplay mechanics are a little bit flawed, the game and the story and the soundtrack just, oh my god, it's perfect. I love that game. So I picked that up. Mario Tennis Aces. I don't own it yet. It is coming in the mail. We'll be here tomorrow. It's supposed to be here today.
Well, you own it. It's just not in hand.
Yeah, I don't have it yet, but it's definitely going to be delivered to work tomorrow, so that'll be good. And then I also picked up Gunpei for the PSP, which I think is a shooter. Haven't actually cracked that open yet. Don't actually own a PSP, by the way. Need to go ahead and rectify that.
One day.
I know. I need to get it before it becomes a relic.
Well, I own two. I have the old school PSP, the one I brought when it came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I brought the newer version, the silver version, actually, the smaller.
Mm-hmm.
So I have that. So I have two PSPs.
Nice.
So I'm pretty light with the pickups. Life has gotten in the way. But I did pick up SteamWorld Dig 2 for the Switch.
Nice.
So, that's a game that everyone was raving about when it came out. Like, it got really good scores.
Yep.
So hopefully I'll crack that open at some point in the next couple of weeks.
Oh, fantastic.
All right, so why don't we take a break?
Mm-hmm.
No convo this week this week.
No combo this week.
Well, we
got some news, though.
When we come back from the break, we'll get into the top 10 gaming news of last week.
Mm-hmm.
And we're back. All right. No convo of the week this week, but let's get into the top 10 gaming news of last week.
Mm-hmm. Got some good stories.
Dave, we're both collectors, okay? We're old school collectors. Some people may call us old, and I just say that's Dave, not me.
All right there, Grandpa.
All right
there, Grandpa.
And
I saw those Centrum vitamins you were taking. I know. I see what's up. I know what's up.
The first time someone called me sir, I was like, who the hell you think you're talking to, young man?
You got upset, right? No. Our whole entire life, we wanted to be adults, and now we want to be kids again.
Now we want to go back. We want to go back, right?
I know.
So I know the digital future is coming. I'm dreading it. I don't want it to come, okay? I still think it's never going to. I still think it's not going to be here 100%. Not 100%. It'll be here mostly digital and some physical. However, analysts have said that console gamers specifically still prefer physical games over digital. Right. And they surveyed console gamers and PC gamers, and around 66% surveyed console gamers preferred physical disc, while 71% PC gamers favored digital downloads.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, I don't think it's that crazy because I would say, duh.
Well, I mean, I didn't think the number would be so big for console players. Looking at it, thinking about it, I think you're right. Because I think some of the things are, you can get used games very easily, used physical games very easily from any GameStop or whatever. You can get them online. You can get them at local game shops, and then there it is. There's the game. You don't have to necessarily download anything. You can just pop the game in. You're good to go, right? I think on the PC front, I guess everyone typically, if you're talking about gamers who have PCs, most likely it's not a laptop. It's a desktop. It's probably hardwired in a way, right? Which means they have fast internet connections, And there's also Steam, so you can get all these games very easily. You can get them on Steam sale and this and that, So that kind of makes sense in that respect.
I was just wondering. They said 71 PC gamers preferred
71%. Yeah.
Digital downloads. I just want to know where the other 29% are getting their games because I haven't seen actual new physical PC game in years.
You ain't gonna see them at GameStop. Yeah.
Where are they buying these new physical?
Amazon, man. Amazon. It all comes from Amazon.
Oh man, really?
That's it. You can get them on Amazon for sure.
I thought there'd be 98% PC gamers.
Yeah, right. Right. It's just so easy. Look, I have a hard time getting my like PC games physical, but I do it. I do it, right? Unless there's not a physical release of it, I will definitely find it. So it just takes a little bit of work,
I don't. Listen, we still want physical games. I'm sorry, because us old school gamers aren't gonna let it die. We're not gonna let it die. Okay,
and we
not
know
until we're gone. When we're gone, then the digital future will be here.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely know the benefit of digital games. It is better overall, I think, to have a completely digital service. But we like the physical disc. It's nice. Call us old fashioned.
Well, that and we're not there yet. I mean, Phil Spencer talked about this during E3 when he did his numerous interviews. We aren't there yet in the United States with our internet connections, right? Like steady internet connections all across the board.
There are some parts of the US that have very slow internet. And then
this net neutrality thing that's happening, right? Mm-hmm. We're still battling that.
Yep.
So we're not there yet. The CEO of Ubisoft, we didn't talk about this, but he did mention that he thought there was going to be one more console generation and then everything's going to be streaming after that.
Yep.
So if we think consoles are coming out in 2020, then the next generation after that would be sort of like between 2025, 27, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you think we'll be streaming in 10 years?
I doubt it. It's gonna be sooner than that, man. You're just denying the inevitable, right? Because I mean, look at it like this way. Like there are technically parts of the country that barely have broadband, right? They probably still have dial-up, right? The last system to have a dial-up connection was the PS2. Xbox was all Ethernet, right? It was all like high speed, right? 360, PS3, and everything like beyond that was all like high speed broadband and whatnot, So now we're in the generation after that. Technically, 3 generations if you count the Switch. Which have all had the Ethernet connection on there or like Wi-Fi. It's better for the game publishers, right? Because there is some money involved in the infrastructure and the whatever else and getting your games out there, but you don't have to worry about retail space. You don't have to make physical cartridges anymore. You don't have to like pay for the media. You can just have it on some server somewhere, you pay the money, and you just download a copy of it, and there you go. You have the game ready to go.
Yeah, it just says something about having that retail space, going into a place where you can just look at games and seeing a game that you never, like, oh, I didn't even know this existed. Oh, wow, this is on sale, right?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you 100%. I'm with you 100%. It is very nice to do that. I do love doing that, but
I don't want it to be where it's like Steam. Because Steam, you can have a great indie game and get buried by like 500 other games, and half of them are probably horrible or trash on the game scale.
Right. Well, that's like the problem. That's not to get too much on too much of a tangent, but that's what's happening on YouTube, right? Like YouTube, Google is basically pushing all of the content in front of your face that they know will get you to stay on the website, right? And it's all these people that are super popular, right? So any of the new people who are like trying to get a leg up and this and that, there is no space for them anymore. They're all getting like pushed away. So it's very hard to find people who are on the come up, And you're right. I mean, it could be the same thing with the digital, with going all digital, right? You may only get the Assassin's Creeds and the Call of Duties in your face, and not the great indie titles like Ori and the Blind Forest or whatever, that may get kind of pushed by the wayside.
Only time will tell, but
Mm-hmm.
as of right now,
mm-hmm.
more than half people who consider themselves gamers that they surveyed want physical copies, and that's why companies like Limited Run do so well, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, speaking of physical copies, it's only one dedicated place you can get physical games, and that's GameStop.
Mm-hmm.
And we've talked about GameStop's demise and what we would do if we owned GameStop to fix it. Looks like in the news, GameStop has confirmed that they're looking to sell, so they're listening to buyout talks from other companies.
Mm-hmm.
Now everyone has speculated that this means it's the end of GameStop, but do they not know what a buyout means? Means, they're being sold. So they're being sold to the next person. The next owner who owns GameStop may not want to dump them. They may want to repackage them as something a little bit more profitable, right? And make them better, and stop having them try to shove pre-orders down your throat and Mega Man helmets.
I know. It's yeah, I mean, like where they're at now, like they kind of tried to shift into a lot of the gaming accessories and tchotchkes and whatever, right? All the little like Funko Pop figurines and the giant foam Minecraft swords and whatnot. And, that's done like kind of well for them, but you realize like they have that stuff there like all the time, and it's always marked down and discounted and whatever. Like you need to have the right type of gifts and accessories to put in front of gamers, right? And they'll gravitate towards that. A lot of that stuff is cheap, it's not great, and it just kind of sits there. So whoever comes in needs to like do a complete overhaul of that company.
I still think, and we talked about this I don't know how many episodes ago. Man, we were like episode 123, definitely a long time ago.
That's right.
I would make it more into like a Starbucks, right? Starbucks is like you could just come and you could chill, you can hang out, even if you don't buy a coffee, right? It's like a hangout spot. And I think that's what it should be with games, where you can come, chill, play games. They should have more kiosks readily available,
making a more like interactive experience. Like
yeah,
something you can't get at home, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe even serve. Make like a little cafe, right? We can serve coffee or something like that.
I think that's smart, right? People can socialize and whatever, and kind of have a place to come and hang. Like, yeah.
Instead of Kate and the Roof, Kate and GameStop.
Instead of what now?
Kate. What was the name from the commercial? The Nintendo commercial, the Switch commercial, the first commercial. Kate, when she was on the roof and they were playing. With the Joy-Cons.
Right. The super hipstery commercial, right?
Yeah. Instead of Kate on the roof playing with Joy-Cons,
right?
She could be in GameStop drinking a latte, playing.
Oh my
god! She could be doing her homework and then playing the Switch. Let's get into our lead story. Something that Kate won't be playing with. Segway. I like that one.
I was okay. I was just gonna let you go with it. I wasn't gonna bring anything up about it.
She won't be playing. She won't be playing with any Atari games. Even though as a side note, Hyperkin at E3 introduced their Atari 77, I think it's called.
Right.
To where you can play Atari games in HD. All right. If you are an Atari fan, if you're older than us. Okay, that means you're an Atari fanboy. This is a system for you. I'm even thinking about getting it because I do have a bunch of Atari games I never played.
You're gonna spend $300 on
it ain't $300
Atari system.
It is not $300.
Oh, it's $250 for the base model. Okay.
All right, I'm willing to do it. So Metal Jesus actually had a review on his channel on YouTube. Speaking of popular YouTubers, I would go check that out. I definitely want to buy it. So I definitely want to buy it.
Really? This is a big turn of events for you. You were very much like, I ain't going to get this, and now you want to get it.
I do want to get it. I can tell you what, something I don't want to get, that I turned around, I'm changing my mind again. I turned around and said I wasn't going to get it. Then I turned around and said, you know what, it's piqued my interest, and now I'm definitely not getting it. And that's the Atari VCS. The other day, a bunch of YouTubers had their YouTube rants against the Atari VCS because they pretty much shitted on, pretty much YouTubers and their coverage of the Atari VCS.
Right. I mean, people were doing, kind of previews of the system and then whatever else and their thoughts on things and whatnot. And the Atari VCS company, whoever's behind all of this, is like, well, we don't want this negative press, and they're voraciously going after these people, right? They went after RGT 85, notably, right?
Saying, don't listen to these guys, they're not real journalists and whatever. These guys put in a lot of, look, I don't know for a fact, but just on the content that they put out, that they do a lot of work and research and into their videos. Not to mention, RGT 85 specifically actually worked for Nintendo Enthusiast, so he actually worked for a website and he was, an actual journalist and still has, by all accounts, connections in the industry. So they're trying to just credit them as like fake news is ridiculous when he should be reaching out to them, trying to work with them so they can get good press to help sell their product. That's smart. These guys are ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely gonna blow up in their face. It's not a good look. But they haven't had the best track record going in. Like even without this kind of news coming out, the system is priced like super high.
No controller.
It doesn't come with any controller.
It's
right?
Ridiculous. Okay. Look, when this first came out, I was like, "This is ridiculous," because they're on Indiegogo with no working prototype, right? Because that's what you can do on Indiegogo.
Right. You can just put it up without having any working model.
And then the pre-orders went through the roof, and they got like 2-3 million, something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my interest was piqued because now they have the funding to actually make this thing, and this is something that's not happening anytime soon. This was like something that maybe happened next summer, right? At the end of next summer or fall. So we're going to be waiting a long time for an actual product to be released.
Right.
So it piqued my interest. I didn't pre-order. But I definitely was thinking, let's see how it comes out. Let's see what the reviews are. Let's see how it works. And then I'll definitely, I'm interested in mine. I'm sort of now I'm back on the fence. I'm like, I don't know. I mean, they're not, this isn't, why are you attacking YouTubers calling them fake news? I mean, this doesn't make any sense.
No.
And then I guess we have two lead stories because the next news story involves Atari VCS again. Something else that's negative. So you want to talk about them calling them fake news? So they did an interview during GDC with an actual reputable, I guess it was a reputable, tech organization, tech publication, The Register. It's a UK based website.
The Register's pretty legit.
And they pretty much went after The Register and calling them fake news after, they posted like an article. They posted an article where it's like, hey, they asked the CEO a bunch of things. Like a CEO, the COO, I should say, sorry. Who he should know everything there is in and out of the Atari VCS, right? Like he's the CEO, COO. He should know everything about the Atari VCS. Right. Like me and you, we know everything about Rated G for Gamers. Like if you access anything about Rated G for Gamers, we can tell you. Okay, we tell you what's going on. All the little minutia, all the little minor things. Like we know everything about what's going on in our company, right?
Of course.
So our product, he should know everything that's going on in Atari VCS. Everyone was left confused after that interview during GDC, right? So he couldn't answer simple questions like what happens if you plug something else into the USB slot, all right? Like what if we plug an Xbox controller in? Will it work? Like he didn't know anything,
right?
And they try to discredit The Register. However, because they're real, quote unquote, they're real journalists, right? Like, because they call them fake journalists. They're real journalists. They recorded the whole interview and put it out there in snippets.
Yep.
To show that this guy didn't know anything. He was so confused. Like they were left confused after the interview about what is this thing?
Yeah,
like you can answer simple questions.
I would say. I mean, it hasn't changed my opinion on it. It's still a big no for me, but that's just solidified. I definitely do not care about this. Do not care about this VCS. It does look super cool. It does have a nice shell, but I'm not going to pay $300 for a nice looking shell. Yeah, not going to happen.
It is. I mean, it is a nice look. It is a nice looking.
Yeah,
shell.
It's got like the wood grain on there and the little black slats and all that. It's super like retro future, but nah. Hard pass.
I'm just saying. I mean, it does look nice, though.
Yeah, you're gonna pay $300 for a nice shell.
I'll pay $30 for the nice shell.
Exactly. You're not gonna pay $300 for a nice shell. So there you go.
It's funny that there are like I think we talked about the Intellivision is coming back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Something that everyone's been asking for, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then television, something from the early, I don't even know, when did television come out? Like late 70s, early 80s?
Yeah, late 70s sounds about right. It came out right around the time that the original 2600 came out. So yeah.
Yeah, so it's funny how the television's coming back, and the company that's bringing the television back sort of like criticized Atari and said this is why they're going to fail, right? For stuff like this, right?
Right.
It's sort of the the Coleco Chameleon all over again, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, this is the guy who's headed the guy who made these comments and whatnot is Tommy Talrico. He's big in the did a lot of game music soundtracks and all that, and he is now the head of Intellivision, which is very interesting.
Everyone's been clamoring for those Intellivision games to come back. Funny enough, I actually do own one in-box Intellivision game.
Sure. I got a couple kicking around too. Definitely.
And I think the Intellivision is the one system I don't have.
Mm-hmm.
I don't own an Intellivision or a 3DO.
You got to get on that. I got to get on that.
Mm-hmm. Something that I will own. Segue. Is the Xbox Project Scarlet.
Wait. You don't have to keep calling out your segues.
I was just saying. I thought it was a really good one. I didn't
let those go.
Come out of nowhere.
No.
They come out of nowhere.
As soon as you self-acknowledge that I had a really good segue, your segue diminishes and drops down to trash. I'm sorry. You gotta let it sit.
It doesn't go to trash.
You gotta let it sit.
It doesn't go to trash. It doesn't go to trash. No. Listen, executive decision. It doesn't go to trash. I'm reverting it. It's still fantastic. I'm sorry. When it's called out, it's fantastic.
Anyway.
A system that I will be buying, is whatever the Xbox Project Scarlet will be. That's the new. That's the code name. I don't know if I like the code name Scarlet. I like Scorpio better, right? I like Scorpio.
Scarlet's cool. Still got the S moniker on there,
Yeah. Project Scarlet. Yeah. Remember, and listen, we're going to be talking about Project Scarlet for a while because I don't think they're going to announce this for another year or two. Right. But by all accounts, it looks like Microsoft with the next Xbox console will be focusing on high frame rates and better CPU performance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean it makes sense, especially since Microsoft said we aren't focused on AR, we aren't focused on VR. They basically dropped support for their Kinect camera, which means no VR and also no AR. You need something to be able to track movement and whatnot. So, why not go heavy on performance? I'll say that. So I think it's a good move on their part. I'm sad that it doesn't seem like there's going to be a lot of innovation on their end.
Why do you think it's not going to be innovation? Just because they're going to focus on frame rates and better CPU power doesn't mean they're not going to.
But what's like the new? What's the new thing? Like I know you had mentioned we had definitely talked a while ago. Like each new generation kind of brings something new, right? Whether it be like a new way to play via like the Wii or like the Super Nintendo controller was super innovative with its shoulder buttons or like 3D gaming.
What did this generation bring?
I think this generation solidified digital downloads and online gaming and that whole like infrastructure. Where we did have it in the 360 and whatnot, but people weren't necessarily downloading games as much because like the internet quality wasn't that great. Now broadband is ubiquitous, right? Everybody has high-speed internet. Everybody has a flat screen.
May not be good.
I mean it's still going to be decent. It's going to be better than broadband. So I don't know. I mean, like you're putting me on the spot here, but I think they just improved upon everything that came from the year before. But there was some exciting things integrating with the social networks and all that, making it easier to interact and chat and whatever with other people, where you could do that all on the previous console, or the previous generation of consoles, I should say. But, now it's kind of gotten a lot better. And maybe, you definitely have to give credit to Nintendo, right? Nintendo's got the first portable hybrid console, right?
Something that they've been thinking about for years, two generations back, right?
Right. And we know that Sony is possibly thinking about doing a hybrid situation as well.
That is one rumor out there.
Yeah, right. That's one of the rumors out there. So
And remember, Sony is a Japanese company. In Japan, handheld.
They love handhelds. Mm-hmm.
And I still think and one day PSP2 / Vita 2 or whatever they call it, it's coming. I will be right.
Holding out for a hero.
PS5, the PS5.
Holding out for a hero.
The PS5.
So, yeah. So I'm looking forward to what
I know you're looking forward to seeing what they can do, but I'm looking at every game 60 frames per second, every game 4K quality.
I mean, sure. Yeah. Definitely. Bring that on.
Minimum.
Bring that on. But, let's start with 60 frames, right? Because we can barely get 30 frames smoothly now on like consoles because we keep pushing the ball forward, And then it's like, oh, we have to do all these little neat like little tricks to kind of make the whole thing work, right? And it's almost never 30 frames. It's barely 60 frames. I think we have a long way to go, I guess that's something to look forward to. Stability. Can we get game stability?
And then we'll have a mid-generation upgrade to where everything's going to be like 8K.
Ugh, no, 8K is too far. Nobody has 8K TVs right now. That's a way away.
Give it 2023 mid-generation.
2023, like 5 years. Yeah, sure. We'll have 8K content. Sure. Remember though, like we need to also throw this down the pipe, and it needs to come down through your internet connection. So they have to be in sync. They got to be in sync.
Well, you know who else is in sync?
Mm-hmm.
Nintendo and Microsoft.
See that I will give you. That is a solid segue.
You called it out. I didn't even call it out.
Because you were going to call it out yourself. So
I wasn't going to call it out. I was just going to go with it.
I'm just going to go with it. All right.
Segue 3 in a row.
Yeah.
Nintendo and Microsoft, they're teaming up and made a surprising Minecraft ad. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like they were taking shots at Nintendo as they were saying survive together, right? Where you got the guy with the Switch and you got the guy with the Xbox. Now, I've said this and I will continue to say this. Sony is ridiculous. Do crossplay. However, I do crossplay with any game other than Minecraft. And I tell you why. I'm going to reiterate. I'm going to rehash this whole thing again. Listen, I understand PlayStation doesn't want, because look, to do that crossplay, you have to have like a Microsoft Xbox account, right? So I understand they don't want that their customers, their PlayStation customers, having an Xbox account, having to log into the competitor's account to play a game. I understand that. That makes sense to me. However, there is no reason why they can't play Rocket League or Fortnite together. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. I think that's the next thing that next generation is going to bring, cross-play across the board with all companies. I think that's definitely a next generation thing that's going to happen. That's going to have to happen. But I understand Minecraft is the game that they don't want to have as cross-play because that just makes sense. I don't want to see the Xbox logo on my PlayStation while I'm playing on PlayStation.
Well, I think you make a good point. You have to log into the Microsoft account for that. So, that kind of makes sense. But in all respects, Sony is going to be the one left in the dust, and they're going to have to scramble, right? Because, they're on top right now, right? They have all these great games coming out, all this good first-party support and all that. But crossplay is the wave of the future. Maybe that is what the big thing is next generation is, universal crossplay, right? Because I've always understood that it's always been very difficult, right, to do the crossplay because they're different networks and they're set up in different ways and how do achievements work and how do the the chat and the text and voice chat work. It seems like a nightmare, but they're starting to do it, and Sony really has to get on the ball and say, hey, look, like you can play with anybody you want, but our experience is the best. So play on PlayStation, right? That should really be the ad, you know. You know, you can play with anybody you want, but play on our system because we have the superior experience.
Well, that leads us into the next story where it's the ex Sony executive. He was a former Sony Online Entertainment president. He explains why Sony is blocking crossplay, and it comes down to just, you know, and again, I don't think this is a Minecraft thing. I think this is the reason why they're not doing crossplay with like Fortnite and everything else. It just comes down to money. It just comes down to, you know, they don't want to do crossplay because it potentially can cost them money. And you know what? I understand that. I get it. And you know, and when you're number one, when you're ahead, you know, well, I should say when you're not number one, when you're trailing behind, it's easy to say, hey, crossplay for everybody. All right. But what happens if Xbox One was number one? If they outsold the PS4 and they were like the leader? You know, Phil Spencer probably wouldn't be the president right now. The other guy would, and they would be pushing their TV and Connect initiative, the living room initiative, right? Would they be so eager to do, would they be so eager to do crossplay? Not. What if it was PlayStation who bought out Mojang, right, for $1 billion, and you had to log into your PS Plus account on your Xbox to do crossplay with Minecraft? Would they allow that?
Yeah,
right?
I mean, I hear what you're saying, right? You know, Sony doesn't have the greatest of impulses to say like, hey, look, let's go ahead and open up our platforms and whatnot, you know, because they're on top. You're right. And you know, you may be right. Xbox may be saying the same thing if they were in Sony's position, you know, like we don't need you guys, you know. But you can only do that for so long, you know? I'll say that. Because, like, eventually people are going to come banging on the door and, you know, you're going to have to give a little bit, right? You know, people are going to come by with their torches and pitchforks and go, like, where is our crossplay, you know? How come my Fortnite account is locked out and I can only play on PlayStation now? What's up with that?
They don't like the idea of buying something on an Xbox and being able to use it on a PlayStation. Right. It's just as simple as that.
Yeah,
it may be dumb,
but that's gonna like
that's that.
But they're the odd man out. You know, they're the odd man out because it's going to become standard and not just like a new special feature. Like,
well, it's something that they will have to adapt to. But I mean, they're not the odd man out. I mean, they're still number one. PS4 is still the highest selling console of this generation.
They're going to be dethroned, I think. Not anytime soon, but like over time, you'll see like, oh, hey, Xbox is more of an open platform, right? Which is really weird to say.
No, actually, no. I don't think they'll be. I think if they do get dethroned, I think it would be again. I think it would be sort of what happened in the last generation, where the PS3 sort of out dethroned Xbox 360, sort of when it didn't matter anymore, like garbage time, because everyone's gearing up for the next consoles. But I don't think they will be dethroned by Xbox. Though I think it's the Switch, if anything, that would dethrone them. I think the Switch is catching up. The Switch is like is on fire. I mean, they're already saying, reports are saying, and like in the next, like, you know, we don't know when the PS5 is coming out, but if you give it another 2-3 years, the Switch will outsell the PS4. It can catch up to the PS4 that fast. And they can outsell the PS4. I just think I understand Minecraft. I think it's just a dumb move on their part for any other game. Like, just let them play. Minecraft, I understand. Just let them and be transparent. Be transparent. Don't say something stupid like you want to protect the children, because like you act like Xbox Microsoft doesn't want to protect the children on Xbox. So Nintendo, of all people, Nintendo, who you can't even talk to someone.
Yeah, well, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Like Minecraft aside, all of this is bad publicity for Sony. Yeah.
I know, and this is why I think they'll cave. In the long run, they'll cave. In the PS5, you'll be able to play. All right, you want to talk about PlayStation caving? Mm-hmm. So we have you have the program with Xbox, right? Games Pass, where you pay $10 a month and you get to download a bunch of games and play them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And all new games will come to Games Pass, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's just a great thing for gamers, and that's the future as far as downloading games, because it'll be games as sort of paying the service is more important, right?
Right.
And I think at some point, Games Pass and Xbox Live will be one, right? It'll just be they'll combined.
Game Pass and Xbox Live. It'll just be like it'll be like a little bit more, but you'll get all the like free games to stream and whatnot too.
They'll just up the Xbox Live by like $12, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they'll say, well, it's Games Pass too, right? So I think that's what'll happen,
right.
Which will be awesome. It'll be awesome, right? Because everybody wants Xbox Live to play with their friends. But anyway, PlayStation Now, the whole streaming service. Like, listen, Sony was trying to get into the streaming world too, just way too early.
Mm-hmm.
And it's way too expensive. However, now PlayStation 4 games will be down. You'll be able to on PlayStation Now, the streaming service. You will be able to play PlayStation 4 games. You'll be able to download them at some point this year. Just by Games Pass, download the games.
Yeah, that is fantastic. It's the turn now, right? Now we have like PlayStation Classics, PlayStation 4 Classics that you can download and stream and whatever else.
Well, now that's crazy. That's another sign that we're at the end of this generation.
Yeah.
Right? Because now we're getting PlayStation 4 Classics, and and they're like going to be like $20-$30.
Sure. A long time coming.
So it's now we know we're getting to the end of this life cycle.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember when the PlayStation 1 Classics came out, the stupid green labels. I always hated those.
Yeah, you always wanted the black labels, because the black labels were cooler. Yeah, of course.
Those came out, and I was already anticipating the PS2 coming out. Right, I was ready for the PS2. I don't remember when the last generation greatest hits came out.
PlayStation 3 greatest hits. I mean, I would say like mid. It's always like mid. I know like the 360 stuff. I think like almost as early as late 2006, early 2007, they started doing the greatest hits. Because that was like a console was so successful, right? They're like, why don't we get the first run games, get like the Fight Night Round 3s and the Perfect Darks and the whatever, and put those up at like a greatest hits price. And I think it worked out well. I think it worked out well for them. They definitely got a lot more sales out of it, for sure.
I am definitely looking forward to buying. And it's always a good thing. It's always a good time to buy like the greatest hits, because you get or the Game of the Year editions, right? Because you get all the DLC, which is the one thing that I want. Like, I really want to get Horizon Zero Dawn with all the DLC, like So it's again, PlayStation Now being able to download games. Then they need to cut the price down to be more competitive with games with the Games Pass, which I think they will. Probably next generation, but I think they will.
They're going to have to. They're going to have to get it down, right? Yeah. Because they're going to have. I mean, they have competition, right? Sony's got their thing. Microsoft is their thing. Nintendo will probably do something similar, right? Eventually.
Yeah. So, all right, let's get into some crazy news. Bethesda is suing Warner Brothers. First, I never thought I would say those words. Second, the reason why they're suing them is because that new Westworld game that came out, the Westworld, the HBO show that actually I think is fantastic.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. I've only seen a couple episodes, but my God. Yeah.
It is a blatant ripoff of Fallout Shelter. Like blatant ripoff.
Right down to bugs that were in the Fallout game are also in the Westworld game, funny enough. And yeah, I mean, it's essentially, for anyone who doesn't know, Fallout Shelter, you would basically have your own little Sims shelter to build, right? And you get credits, and you'd build different facilities, and then they would the people would birth kids, they would grow up, and
I think everyone is dead in my shelter. I haven't
probably, yeah, same in mine too, right?
And you just Fallout 4.
Yeah. I mean, you would basically just have to let all these people survive, build all these units, and then you could send them out into the world, and they can go hunting and whatever, and this and that. The Westworld game is essentially the same thing, with the exception of that it has a different coat of paint on it, right? So I think
it's essentially Fallout Shelter with a Westworld skin,
right.
And
now
it makes sense because the company that co-developed it, Behavior Interactive, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they they had the codes. What did they do? They had the codes sitting around and just said, "Hey, HBO, we can make a Fallout. We can make a game for Westworld." I don't understand. They didn't change anything other than the skin.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, if you get down to the actual code, you're gonna see so many similarities, right? And the thing of it is, sure, you're like a company that, you're Telltale, right? And Telltale, you make the Homestar Runner game, or you make the Batman game, right? And then you're tasked with, we have to make a Stranger Things game, right? Yes, you're going to build upon a lot of your technologies that you have, and maybe it'll be the same game engine at its core, but you can only take so much from the previous game, right? And there's certain things that Bethesda probably owns, right? Depending on what the contract is, right? They may own the rights to some of the technologies, some of the game design patents or whatever. Maybe like Bethesda's, and I think this company overreached their bounds. They went a little bit too far, and now it's blowing up in their face. So I say good riddance. I
just think that I think this is an obvious ripoff.
Yeah.
They filed a suit in Maryland U.S. District Court because Bethesda is in they're in Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
I think Bethesda will win easily. The question is, will they pull the game or just keep the game up and they get royalties for it? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, the game is it's a free to play game by all accounts, right?
Yep. You can download and play it, I believe, today, unless it's been taken off the market, which I don't think it has.
So, you know what? Maybe we should download this before it gets taken off the market.
You can. I am not going to. If it's that similar to Fallout Shelter, my God, was this game buggy. It would take up so many resources on my phone. And I had a good phone at the time, too. It was so buggy and so laggy.
I didn't know you had an iPhone. Did you had a good phone?
No, I had the superior Android. We'll just go ahead and leave it at that.
All right. So you didn't have. So you had an inferior phone at the time. No wonder it was laggy. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, let's see how you do with this segue, huh?
You want to talk about superior?
Oh God.
Anyway, all right. Last story. Last news story.
Mm-hmm. We always like to leave on a nice high note, something pleasant, a good story,
something cute, something that was close to my heart. Mm-hmm. Back in the day when we were younger, so long ago, right?
Yep.
We had video game TV shows, right? So we had. Well, I have no idea what Starcade is. You more so than
Starcade was the first. Starcade was the grandfather of video game shows. But we also had
video game arcade. I never heard of them.
We also had Nick Arcade, which was in the 90s. We had Video Power in the late 80s.
Video Power with Johnny Arcade.
They were video game shows where you'd answer video game trivia and play video games for prizes, And we all thought it was the coolest thing, right? Because video games are awesome, right? We wanted to be on the show. We wanted to be those kids.
Well, this generation, Disney is making another video game show based on the Nintendo Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Where pretty much the premise would be sort of like 4 families battling out for points and prizes playing Nintendo Switch games.
Mm-hmm.
And sort of like, I guess, an example would be like finding collectibles in Super Mario Odyssey, or you go head to head against, another family in Mario Tennis Aces,
mm-hmm.
right? Or Dave's favorite game, every generation, you battle out with Just Dance 2018.
Love that game. You are correct. That is a great game.
Yeah, I know. Dave has all the Just Dance games every year.
I do. This could be good. I think kids will enjoy it. I don't think it's going to be for us, which is upsetting because I could totally see an adult themed arcade show.
Well, you know what I loved back in the day. Just as a side note, I loved the original Double Dare, because then after a while it became like Double Dare Kids.
Right. There was Double Dare, Super Sloppy Double Dare, Family Double Dare Kids.
Yeah, right. I just wanted the regular Double Dare, where they were like adults and they were going after it, and then became sort of more kiddish, where it was just like kids on Double Dare. And of course, none of the kids can answer any of the damn questions. So it was always, the dare. They always had to go dare. So I'm gonna hold out a little hope. I'm gonna watch to see.
Are you okay? Yeah. I mean, it could be good. It could be good.
Could be good. I know Dave will watch it if they had some Puyo Puyo Tetris on there.
Hell yeah, I love that game.
Or if Dr. Mario if there's a Dr. Mario Switch.
Yeah. There isn't yet, but maybe in the eShop Classic.
When's the last time we got a Dr. Mario game? We'll end with that. When was the last time we got a new Dr. Mario game?
Last one I remember is Dr. Mario 64. For the Nintendo 64, obviously, 4-player co-op. Well, no, not co-op. 4-player head-to-head. They may have put one out after that, but I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I can't think of another Dr. Mario.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or maybe they'll resurrect that franchise.
Maybe, yeah. Well, anyway, that is going to wrap up our show. That is episode 123, and it is in the books. We do want to thank you guys for sticking with us and doing all the good things that you do. So, if you want to interact with us, you can do so on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google+, YouTube, and Vero at Rated G for Gamers. And you can always email us at info@ratedgforgamers.com. So please like, listen, subscribe, and as always,
keep gaming.